All right, welcome to Reality Rundown, episode 30. I am your host, Connor Nelson, along with my co-host, Christian Holman. Things are back to normal. I'm here with Holman. He looks a little different. I'm not sure if it's really him or not, but back to Big Brother and not the Bachelorette.
Yes, I am, in fact, not the real Holman. Go ahead and go out there and say that. I just feel like a new man, you know? When you lose that beard, it becomes part of you. And I know you wouldn't understand that, but yeah, it becomes part of you. So it just feels good. Be a new man. I'm going to be told all day tomorrow, probably the next week, how I just look like a baby. But, you know, I'll take it in stride.
Yeah, so we're here. If you guys are watching on YouTube and you like the podcast, leave a like for us. If you have any suggestions for us, leave it in the comments for us. We will see it there. And if you subscribe with notifications on, you will get notified every time we post, so you are up to date with every episode and you're not behind on anything, especially on these Wednesday episodes where it's back-to-back, where we have one on Thursday as well. You'll get it as soon as we post right after this. If you want to watch us record these live, we go live at twitch.tv/reality rundown after every single episode. You can catch us there. And again, follow there. It will notify you when we go live, so you don't miss out on anything, and you're there as soon as we start. Other than that, tonight's episode, we have the Veto. It's Big Brother Comics Night. This is always a fun one just to see the comics, but just like OTEV, I think with BB Comics, they need to mix it up in how they use the comics, not just the same comp over and over.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I love to see the comics because they're funny.
Yeah,
especially
I agree.
Some of them are really funny. I didn't get the best look at all of them, but typically they're very good. And I'm just kind of tired of seeing them swing on a rope or a zip line, and maybe flip the comp where next year you're finding BB comics in the swamp, and OTEV is a zip line. I don't know. Maybe don't do either of that, but just do something radical. Let's change.
Just mix it up. Yeah, mix it up. Do something different. I 100% agree. But again, I like the comp. I like the comics. They're always funny and interesting to look at, and they always normally have pretty good designs with it. Either way, this episode starts with right after Noms. Nicole is in the DR and makes it clear that Memphis is her target and she wants Memphis gone as opposed to Christmas, which this is probably the right move for her.
Yeah, but it also means nothing as she's not voting. Which
100.
I'm sure we're going to get to that, but
yeah.
It's like Final Five, HOH. Why would anyone respect what you want?
At a certain point, you have to, you don't have to do what the HOH says. It shouldn't have been like that from the start. I get the first couple where there's really nothing to go off of. You can just be like, sorry, this is what the HOH wants. But at this point in the game, it's do what's best for you. Who cares? They don't have any power when it comes to the vote. So just do what you feel like you need to do for yourself. And
yeah. Also, it's not like she's gonna put you on the block next week. Next week's Final Four. She can't play in HOH, and she probably isn't going to win the veto, so she's probably not going to vote to evict you.
Exactly.
So it's
and even if she's not working with the Christmas or Memphis at this point, so worst case scenario, she does get mad, but she gets over it in a week, and you just go with the plan. If she wins, best case
And even if she did vote to evict you, it's probably not because you didn't agree with her on a vote. It's probably because she don't think she's going to beat you at the next
100%. Yeah, so, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, don't do what she wants to do at this point. Do what's best for your game, Cody Enzo.
Memphis is talking about how this is the first time this season he's been on the block, which is kind of crazy that Enzo, Cody, and Memphis, all three have not seen the block until this point, which, of course, Cody and Enzo still haven't. But it's pretty crazy that those three have made it this far without even touching it.
Yeah, usually at this point in the season, if one person hasn't seen the block yet, it's insane.
Yeah.
And
for three of them, it really is crazy.
And everyone's talking about it. It's wow, they haven't seen the block yet. I don't want to see them. Think of the story if they don't see the block to make the finals. But we got 3 people. It's crazy. It's they ran the house that hard that they didn't even go up on the block.
And that's why I think Derek gets a lot of praise for his game, because he went through the whole thing. He controlled the game. He's basically doing what Cody did, except for he didn't really have any... the difference is Cody kind of knew who was coming in. He talked with Derek beforehand. I'm sure he had some pregame stuff going on. Actually, I know he did. So that's the big difference. But still, it is crazy that they still have done it and are there and still, I mean, they haven't seen the block. I mean, it's still unbelievable. But I think that's where Derek does get a lot of credit for his game where he didn't call the block one time.
Yeah, and it's insane. It really is insane.
Nicole talks to Christmas right after nominations. She tries to smooth things over. She's like, I'm sorry. Like, I just didn't have a reason to put them up, but you are not the target. You're going to be here. I don't want you gone. And you can tell that Christmas is, like, receptive, but she's still, like, upset clearly because she's on the block. But she's like, she thinks she's okay this week.
Yeah, which they both think that they're perfectly fine this week.
Memphis especially, man. He is like...
He's confident.
Yeah.
Memphis is maybe the most overconfident person in the world. Which, at the end of the episode, it's looking like Memphis is probably right. But, you know, it's just like...
I feel like every day it could change, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like you're on the block. Maybe in Final Five.
But to his credit, I don't know if he's doing this on purpose or not, like being this cocky or like over like thinking he's going to stay. But like to be fair, if you're in that spot and you are super close with Enzo and Cody here and you show no sign of like thinking that they're going to change their mind or vote him out and you just keep going to them like, "Oh, we're good, like 100%, as long as we get the veto, we're good. The veto's not used. Oh, perfect. Like you two guys are voting, we're solid. I'm staying." Like, if you don't show any hint of doubt in them, that shows them that, like, oh, he's 100% solid with us. He's not going to vote against us. He's going to take us to Final 3 no matter what because he's not showing any sign of disloyalty here. He thinks he's good to go with them two. So, if he shows any sign of doubt, they might be like, well, he's kind of questioning us, so we might want to go ahead and get him out. But, I don't think that's what Memphis is doing. I don't think that's, like, he's purposely, like, thinking that in his mind. I think he just really thinks that there's no chance he's going home.
Yeah, it definitely is that builds your little rapport. But you know, also at this point in the game, it's literally like later on, Enzo's gonna hear Christmas try to plot a plan to evict Cody, and he's like, "Whoa, she's playing hard. We gotta get rid of her." What? Who'd you think she wanted to go after?
Yeah, who do you think her target was? It's clearly not Memphis. Enzo is like, just drag him to the end, and same with Nicole. Like, you're the only real threat here. I feel like anybody is looking at is Cody, except for Nicole and Enzo. But they still know, like, it's going to be hard to beat him. But, again, if you're Cody, you got to think, like, no matter what, even if I'm working closely with these people, even Enzo, you got to think, like, there's a chance he takes a shot at me because he doesn't think he can beat me.
Yeah. Which, that's why at this point in the game, it's super important to win every comp.
Yeah. Memphis and Christmas talk, and Christmas tells him, she's like, listen, Nicole freaked out thinking that I was upset, thinking that you were upset. She tried to smooth things over, and they just talk about how, like, if one of them win the veto and bring one of them comes down, or if Enzo wins the veto, that Cody will be put up and they can get the votes with Enzo possibly. But again, this just isn't realistic. I don't see how, like, in their right mind they can think that this is a real possibility.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Which, I mean, there's some decent ideas that can be thrown out there. Now, but like the likelihood is so slim.
So low. Like,
but it isn't a bad shot. And Christmas could have actually, I think there was a chance that Nicole ends up putting up Enzo at the minimum.
Well, she would have to. What do you mean?
Cody could be the other option.
Well, yeah. It would have to be one of them too. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
yeah, like at the minimum, I don't think she put up Cody, but at the minimum, put Enzo up just to be like, hey, I know you're not gonna vote your boy, but this is literally just to ensure I get what I want, which would have been so much smarter from her, because they're not going to vote her out because of that next week. They're still going to take her.
Yeah.
It's just dumb.
Very dumb. Cody and Memphis talk now, and this is, again, goes back to Memphis is super confident, doesn't have any fear that he's going home. He's like, yo, like, if it stays the same, we're good. Like, we're solid. This is perfect. And Cody just goes along with him, knowing that he's probably going to vote him out at this point in the game. And he just wants him to feel safe because there's no sense in, like, ruffling any feathers at this point. But, yeah, again, Memphis he really thinks that there is no chance in any way possible that he would get sent home over Christmas, which is, I mean, again, in this game, you got to always think you're going home. When you feel the safest is normally when you're not the safest.
Yeah, which we're going to find out Thursday if that is how it works for Memphis as well.
Then we get the segment of Enzo making tea, and like the segment on Monday with the feet, this is one of the segments that I like. Like, this is the complete 180 for me. Is like, this is just funny. This is like, it shows like kind of what they do in the house, and it's just a good segment. Like, this makes people like Enzo. But Cody just sitting there like rolling his eyes, being like, "What is wrong with this guy?" and calling him a man child. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I'd say that there's a lot of foot people out there saying the only thing that makes the segment better is if he put his foot in the tea.
It's disgusting.
But, I like the segment. I think it's a good segment. Any segment that shows personality, a little humor, which it's crazy to me that is Enzo the only person, which he is, but is he the only person in the house with any personality? You know, it's like, how are you guys in this game?
Again,
Why are you guys selected to be on Big Brother ever?
They are struggling. They are struggling to find things to put on the show because, again, there's just nothing going on. Like, they don't bring anything. There's no fights. There's no like people getting mad. There's nothing. There's no emotion. There's just like everybody's just laying around, sitting around, doing absolutely nothing, and they're scrounging the least little bit they can and put it in the episode. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's literally no one's doing funny things. Nothing's happening.
Nothing.
Like, Enzo is the only person who does anything funny in the house, apparently, or at least that's how it's portrayed. But there's got to be he's going to be America's Favorite House Guest because
I disagree.
He is the only person that they're showing anything about.
True. I still don't think he's going to win it.
I can't imagine who else would win.
I don't know. We'll see. Either way, this is when we get the Enzo and Christmas talk, and this is when Christmas pitches to him, like, if you win this veto, like, there's a chance we can get Cody out this week. And again, like, why are they seeing it this way? Like, you got to know that Cody and Enzo are, like, super tight. They're always together. They're doing everything together. You've already tried to get Enzo to flip once. What makes you think he's going to flip now? Like, it's just not going to happen. And it's just keep your mouth shut. You're better off, especially for Christmas, because at this point, Christmas is safe. Like, she's staying. Don't ruffle feathers. Don't just sit back, relax, and stay this week and don't cause any problems. Here, she's just making herself a bigger target than she should.
Which, you know, if I'm Christmas, I'm going to be doing the same thing. Because she doesn't necessarily know the exact situation. She thinks Enzo and her are relatively close. But she also sees the fact that Cody is almost unbeatable in this game at this point. Because, and the fact that no one will go against him literally shows that he's unbeatable in this game. Now, maybe on Final 3 now, someone doesn't take him. I think he's probably going to be the one who wins the final HOH.
Who takes the person, yeah.
Which, you know, I don't know. He might not win the question comp. Nicole actually has a better chance, I think, than him of winning, like, the final question comp. But Enzo don't have a chance. Memphis could win that as well. But we're going to obviously see. But it's like, you got to realize this dude's not going to lose to anyone. No one wants to go against him. He ain't going to lose.
No. And it shows how good of a game Cody's played, too, is that he's made Nicole and Enzo both feel like they are his number one no matter what. Like, Nicole feels like no matter what, Cody's taking him, and no matter what, that Enzo thinks no matter what, Cody's going to take him. So it's crazy that he's made both of them feel that confident in him, even though, like, you never know in this game. Yeah, I think Nicole is starting to see it because she starts talking later like Christmas may be a good option to take because I don't see myself beating Cody, but I can definitely see myself beating Christmas.
Yeah, and it's like if that's the way you truly feel, now's the time to do something about it because you can't win HOH next week. You have the only potential chance of having any say is winning veto for her. So it's like, if you can't beat him, don't join him.
Yeah.
You know, send him home.
Yep. So now Christmas, Enzo, and Nicole are in the HOH room. Christmas leaves, and as soon as she leaves, Enzo's like, I don't trust her. I don't think that going forward I could ever trust her with anything, and starts like subtly giving some hints that he's starting to lean the other way as he wants Christmas out this week and not Memphis.
Yeah, which it's because she talked a little bit, which I think it's a dumb move. I really do think it's a dumb move to a degree. Maybe not the fullest extent of it.
But you think the Christmas talking to Enzo was a dumb move, or you think keeping Christmas over?
Keeping Memphis over Christmas.
I disagree though, because with Memphis for Cody and Enzo, they have a final 3 together. Like I genuinely think next week, if Memphis wins, he's clipping Nicole. He's going after Nicole.
And that's what I'm saying. I think there's a very good chance of that.
Which I know I don't think
it might not be a horrible move, but I think Memphis is one of those ruthless people. Why would he not want to take Nicole? He thinks he can beat her.
I agree with that. I do agree with that, but
so cocky with the fact he probably thinks he could beat Cody.
Probably. That's the thing. And again with Christmas, like, this goes back to the Tyler thing. Christmas 100% is coming after Cody. Like, she's told everybody in the house, I'm going after Cody. Cody knows it. At least with Memphis, there is that chance that he's not going after you. Like with Christmas, it's 100%. There's no like small sliver or nothing. She's going after you. With Memphis, at least like there's a chance he's not going after you at all. There's a chance that even if he is, it could change. With Christmas, there's no changing that. So I think that's like the reason that you should keep Memphis in this spot. But again, you don't see how they're seeing it.
Yeah, which I mean, it makes sense. But at the same time, it's like, who's gonna be the better competitor? But still,
Christmas in her mind thinks she's the best competitor.
Yeah, which so does Memphis, and so does Cody. Which they can't all be the best.
Oh my gosh!
The results would point towards Cody.
Either way, after this conversation with Enzo, Nicole in the DR says he's bringing up points, but my target still is Memphis. I still want Memphis out, which of course she wants Memphis out. There's no reason for her not to want Memphis out here.
Yeah, I mean, Memphis's deal last week was, I'll take you to Final 3, and Chris's deal is, I want to be with you in the finals.
Yeah, which is where we get to next. Christmas comes up, and her pitch is literally like, I want to sit beside you in the final too. Which, again, this goes back to Memphis. Like, if you want to stay off the block, you have to offer more than, I'll keep you safe next week and get you to the Final 3. Like, you have to say, I'm taking you to the finals because I think I can beat you. Which is exactly what Christmas did, pretty much.
Yeah, which, now, does her doing that really have the greatest impact? Probably not. The only impact is she now will probably definitely have Nicole's campaign.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't necessarily make any difference in the grand scheme. And even if Memphis promised her Final 2, he'd still be on the block this week because...
Oh, 100%, yeah. But again, you still can't go into it being like, I'm going to offer her this great deal, and if, like, she should take this, it's great for her, and then be like...
When it's horrible.
Yeah, it's nothing. Like, she already has controlled, basically, that with everybody else but you, so, like, great.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Nicole is talking to Christmas at this point, and she's saying that she has matured... like a lot more now, and that she's now over the fact that Christmas tried to get her out in the triple, and it's like, what do you mean you've matured? Like, you were mad up until now, you put her on the block because of it. Like, did you mature in 24 hours? What are we talking about here?
I don't think she said the word mature, duh. I think she said I am more mature.
Maybe, I hope.
But I don't think she was saying, yeah, I got more mature since I was last on the block. But I think that she. I think she is more mature. I mean, probably, maybe not though. But at least by her account in her previous seasons, if someone went against her in any way, she wanted them gone no matter what. Which, I mean, to be fair, she did want Christmas out. But we are later on in the game where Christmas can now be a benefit opposed to someone who's against her.
Well, so, yeah. Because at this point, you got to look at it like she's not beating Cody. She might beat Enzo. There's a case for she might beat Enzo.
Yeah.
There's a case she could beat Memphis. There's a great case she could beat Christmas. So that's the way you got to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she says she's over it, that she does want to go to the end with her. And Christmas leaves and she talks to herself. She's like, she's bringing up a lot of good good points. It was a good conversation. Like there is a chance that I go to the end with her, which I think it would be good for her to go to the end.
That's who she should want to be with.
Yeah.
I think every single person in the house should want to be in the final two with Nicole, and Nicole has a chance of beating Memphis, a decent chance of beating Christmas, less of a chance with Memphis, probably less of a chance with Enzo. I don't know between those two. Those two could be a toss-up, and no chance against Cody. No one's going to beat Cody. Because the thing about Cody is he really hasn't even rubbed anyone raw, or rubbed him the wrong way. So it's like he's not going to lose.
I agree. I think Cody's a lock if he can make it to final two. Either way, we get to the veto competition. It is BB Comics. Every year we have it. It's the same deal. You hit the button to start your timer. You go across the zip line. There's all the comics how they're supposed to be. You drop down. You go to your side, and you put the comics how they're supposed to be in order. And there's 2 of them, and you have to find the right one. So it starts with Cody. And again, like at the end, you said that they put the times up in the order they go. I made sure to pay attention this time to make sure that's not how it is.
What was?
You know how you said like at the end whenever they're giving the times and it has everybody like it'll start with let's say.
Oh yeah, they weren't in order.
No.
Like that. Okay, I always thought it was.
No.
But
so if you're the first one, you got to be like crap. This.
Well, how did you know that? That's not the actual.
Because I wrote down who went in the competition and then whenever
that doesn't mean that's not the way they edit it.
I guess they could edit it that way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how they still do that.
Maybe.
I'm still pretty sure.
Fair enough.
Fact check, negatory.
Well, based off of the show and how they put it in there, it's not that way.
That's what I said initially. That's what I even said whenever I said that. It's like they changed the editing to look like this and potentially make it more dramatic because they want people at the end to seem like they have a chance of winning, keep you on your feet. So.
You know what? Shut up. I don't like facts. Facts are optional.
They don't care about. Do what?
Facts are optional here.
Yeah, this is a fact-free podcast. If you just want to sit here and listen to 2 guys talk about nothing, here you go.
So did you have any ones that stuck out to you?
No, I don't even remember them, honestly. I got Memphis or Enzo's. Enzo looks like a super villain. I thought
he was
Cody's
a cat.
Sucked. I hated Cody's.
Califury.
Califury. Yeah. Who else was there? Davon. I did not understand Davon's. Did you understand Davon's? What was that? The Daydreamer. Daydream. Who else? We got. I like Nicole's because that is her, and I love the fact that she was so jealous about.
Oh, 100%. It was great. She was so mad. Like she saw Janelle's, she's like, "Of course," and then she pulls hers out, and it's her in her sloppy's outfit, like.
Looking like a real loser. And you got Janelle about Nicole's cat looking like a queen, and it's like
King Kaser with
Kaser.
And again I think this goes back to with Cody the same way with Nicole. Like I think he's jealous that he's King Kaser and he's like why is like the king of what? And like if you want the like Big Brother fans to like you, don't go after Kaser. Like he's probably the #1 most like fan favorite of all time. Like if you want people to like you, don't go after him. Because
Kaser really hasn't ever done anything in the game, but he is so beloved. Which, I mean, I liked Kaser, but I don't understand why people like Kaser.
People love Kaser.
I think people like Kaser because he's always the underdog. So, it makes for a great story. And, yeah, Cody was definitely just a little jealous. Just like Miss Nicole.
Yes, 100%. But yeah, that's about the only ones that stuck out to me. There was also when Christmas went, she goes across the zip like you're on the block, you might go home. She goes across the zip line and she just hangs there because she's scared to fall. Like, what are you doing?
She put up
what are you doing?
30 minutes. It didn't even matter.
But still, because she's like hanging there, like scared. Like, oh my gosh.
What are you doing? Now, I don't have a fear like that, so I wouldn't have an issue. But it's just like. it's time to conquer that. You're on the block, you know.
It goes back when they have like snakes and stuff. I don't like snakes. I don't want to touch snakes, but if like I have to reach my hand into like snakes, I'm gonna do it. Like they're not gonna put something out there that's gonna harm me, so like it's not gonna be bad. Just do it.
But
Unbelievable, unbelievable. Oh, so either way, it ends. The times are Memphis. His time goes first. He got it in 31 minutes 56 seconds. That's really bad. Enzo had a time of 28 minutes 19 seconds. Again, no shot. Nicole's time was 11 minutes and 21 seconds, and when her time came up, everyone was like, "Holy crap! Like how did she do it that quick?" Which it is a really good time if we're being honest.
Mm-hmm.
And then Christmas is next. She got it in 27 minutes and 45 seconds. Again, just how are you? Like you're on the block. How are you this bad? Like
it's the theme of the season. When people have been on the block this year, and the target, they have no chance of winning a veto. They literally, it's insane to me the way this season has worked. Where even the last couple seasons, it's like the people who are on the block and are currently targets, they don't have any chance of winning vetoes.
No,
it's like,
but they talk a big game before it. Like I'm gunning for this. I'm gonna get it. Like I have this fury building inside me, but then they go out there and like they do terrible. And it's not even like. It's a decently hard comp because you have to remember things and go back and forth. But like Christmas, 27 minutes, like what are we doing?
It was sad. It was sad and bad.
So it comes down to Cody, and Cody's time was 16 minutes and 8 seconds. So Nicole ends up, she does win the veto, and at this point we know it's going to stay the same. There's no reason for her to use it. But Memphis and Christmas still think there's a slight, well, not really Memphis, but Christmas thinks there's a slight chance that Nicole will be receptive to a deal here. And Memphis, like, I mean, you can go, I think she's going to be more receptive to you, so you can go offer it, but he knows that there's no way she's going to use it.
Yeah, which, you know, honestly, at the minimum of the way it was at least produced, it did feel like there was a chance with the pitch. Because the pitch makes sense. And the thing is that it's like they don't realize that there's no more weeks left of Big Brother. Like
it's ending. Like
Like you got to make your final preparations now.
You got 2 weeks, and they're playing like there's 2 months.
Yeah, and if you're Nicole at this point, you have to be with people you're aligned with, obviously, but you also got to at least get your guaranteed votes, you know?
Yeah.
And even if you want Memphis to go home still, put Enzo or Cody on the block, let the vote be split, and you break the tie.
Yeah.
But
it's crazy. Enzo and Cody, they are in the room together, and they're like, we got to talk about this. Like, we got to seriously sit down and discuss who we want to keep in this house because, I mean, it's here. The noms are locked, so we don't really get much of what they decide. They just kind of like go, but that's basically all we get is them saying that. And again, I think it could literally change. Like, if it's Christmas today, going home, I think tomorrow morning they could wake up and be like, we got to get Memphis out. So I don't think we're gonna know really until they vote.
No, it's probably going to be back and forth, but it's at the very minimum looking like Christmas is gonzo.
Yep. So we do get the Christmas pitch to Nicole, and she's just talking about how Cody and Enzo are definitely a final two, that they're inseparable, that if they put Cody on the block, like they can get him, they can take him out. And of course, Nicole is just like, okay, whatever. Like, she's just going along with it, but she's not going to do this. Which, again, I think this is the play for her. Like, this is her big move. Like, honestly, she hadn't done anything up until then. This move alone of getting Cody out, like, potentially could win you the game.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you get rid of the king, now you're the queen. It's like, it's almost simple.
It's almost too simple.
Yeah.
But again, she just sees it as, and this is where Cody's done so good, like she feels 100% confident that Cody is going to take her, but so does Enzo. So like that's where he's just played like this perfect game of like, they don't feel threatened at all with Cody, which is crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know if they will take him or not. I think Nicole would take someone else, but I think Enzo might take Cody.
Yeah, I think so. Because he just keeps going back to he's never gonna cross Cody. Cody's his number one. Like there's been chances for Enzo to make moves that might benefit him, might not, but he's always gone the route of whatever Cody wants. So, yeah. I don't know. Either way, we get to the nomination ceremony. Noms obviously stay the same. It shows Memphis and the DR like, honestly, for me being on the block, I feel great. I don't see there's any chance in this world that I go home over Christmas with Cody and Enzo voting. When again, like, this is what happens, I feel like, a lot of the time. Like, almost every season we see this. Someone feels, like, 100% confident on the block, and then they end up going home and they're stunned. But it just, every time someone feels super safe, it doesn't end well.
Yeah. I would like to see his face whenever he gets evicted. I don't think he'll be mad. But he would be disappointed.
He'll be stunned. He won't believe it.
I think he'll be. I think at the minimum we won't see him be stunned. But I just kind of want to. I don't want to say who I want to see leave because I honestly don't care between the two.
I don't think it's gonna matter.
Yeah, it's literally just it doesn't seem like it matters at this point. I think Memphis has a better chance of winning than Christmas though. So maybe I'd want Memphis to beat Memphis has a better chance of at least winning a comp next week than Christmas.
Yeah,
but Christmas can still win. But.
Also, next week's HOH doesn't even matter. I guess it's the only thing it matters for is your resume. Just building like I got another one, but next week. Yeah. But not really though, is it?
You can't be evicted when you're the HOH.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I was thinking the next week, but the veto really is what matters here for the next one. Whoever wins the veto gets the final vote and
unless
decides
you're the HOH.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I would again. I don't like Christmas. I don't want Christmas to win, but for anything to be shaken up, Christmas winning the veto and deciding who goes home would be the most interesting play.
Yeah. I'm kind of rooting for Christmas in a sense. Now I'm actually thinking about it, but give me 5 minutes and I'll be rooting for Enzo. So.
Yeah, it's honestly to the point where it's tough. Like,
honestly, I'm even rooting for Cody because he's played such a good game.
Yeah, but a lot of people are gonna say that it's because he had a bunch of pregame stuff. But going on that though, it's like the original All-Stars, everyone did it. Like Dr. Will contacted people that were gonna be on the show and was like, "If I win, we'll split it." Like he was splitting the money up with people just so he could advance. Like it happens. Like it's gonna happen. It happened then. It happened now. Like it's just gonna happen if you know who's gonna be on the cast and beforehand. It's just you can't stay away from it.
Yeah, which is against the rules, but they, the pregame stuff. Of course, there's gonna be some pregame. They're all stars. Even whenever we have vets come in after each season or like on a new season, they still have pre-show things. Now that doesn't mean that they planned going in with someone, but they are friends with people outside the house from other seasons. So. They have pre-things, so
like even if before coronavirus, like if they did an all-star season, they contact let's say Cody and say, hey, we want you on. He agrees. There's no way that they can get him in sequester before like he can contact whoever like and just try to figure out some things with whoever he can, whoever he knows, and just try to figure some things out before he goes. So no matter what, there's going to be some form of pre-gaming in an all-star season.
Yeah, I mean, and again, even in like a regular season, if there are more than one vet, there's a decent chance that there is relative terms of in number of pregame because
100%.
They know each other 99% of the time.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, so 2 weeks left. I think what do we got? Like 7 episodes left? Does that sound about right?
Sure.
But yeah, it's getting close to the end. Do you have anything else from tonight?
I did earlier, but I don't now. So
You lost it?
some would say that.
But, okay, well, yeah, that's all I have. I mean, there's not much in between, like, the actual competitions. We're getting a bunch of filler. We're getting a bunch of just stuff that they're throwing together because, really, this season, there's not been much going on. There's not been a lot of, like, even game talk. Like, game talk is very minimum. But at least I think getting now to the Final Four, Final Three, like, where these people that have been so tight are going to end up having to clip each other, it might get a little interesting then. But we will see. Either way, if you guys are watching on YouTube and like the podcast, please leave a like. If you have any suggestions for us, leave it in the comments. And if you subscribe with notifications on, you'll get notified every time we post a video so you're not behind, especially after tonight, like Wednesday night episodes where we have one tomorrow. You'll get it right when we post so you can watch and be up to date. If you want to watch us record these live, we go live at twitch.tv/reality rundown after every single episode. You can catch us there, follow us, and it will also notify you when we go live on Twitch so you don't miss out on anything. If that's all you got, I'm good. We will be back tomorrow night after the episode. We will see who gets evicted and goes to the jury house. And honestly, I think it could go either way. I'm not 100% confident in either one. But we'll see what happens, and we will see you then.
Follow on Twitch.